Hello everyone and welcome to my Cat-Walk TBR for June. It's the first round that we'll be playing with my summer board. So just as a reminder, I am going to be starting off with 5 rolls. If I get a double, I use a TBR prompt card. TBR prompt card here that I've got from Once Upon a Book Club at one point. So I use these for the prompt for the punishment book, and I still draw a color to go with it. And then obviously if I land on one where it's a YouTube TBR video, then those are books to read in addition to those along with that. But there's never any punishment for not completing my TBR. Life happens and sometimes you get in a slump. I'm not going to punish myself for life and slumps and anything like that. And this is just a way for him to narrow down a massive TBR, which can get overwhelming to pick a book, down to something that's more manageable. And sometimes I don't even stick to that. So this is more like a TBR suggestion for the month. So yeah, without further chit chat, let's go ahead and delve in and see what my first prompt and the other prompts will be for June. Okay, I can't find the normal random number generator, so I've got this random wheel here and it's got numbers on here, so I'm going to change the max. I've got 30 spaces on the board. Okay. All right, so let's see where we're going to start. Seven. All right, so we're starting on number 7, and we're going to go with this kind of a green, black cat and moon. Space number 7, right there. Okay. Okay, got a 2 and a 1, so moving 3 spots. 1, 2, 3, fireworks. And this is a YouTube TBR game, so already we're starting off with more than 5 books. Okay, so you're gonna hear some vacuuming going on. That's just life, it is what it is. So as you saw, roll number 1 for my game was fireworks. Now fireworks, what do you do with fireworks? I mean, other than those that I would hope are safe with lighting them, but either way you are watching them. So this is to watch a YouTuber's or a booktuber's TBR game. I take the prompts that they get from their game, and then I use those prompts, pick books, and I still do the colors. So this jar has booktubers that have a TBR game. Maybe they haven't played it for a while. I know some people are kind of more spur of the moment, things like that. So let's see who I draw from this and which TBR game. If they don't do it anymore, then I'll go with their most recent one, which could be 6 months ago, but let's see who I draw from this. So okay, we're gonna go with this one. And this is Kristen Reading Nymph is the name of her channel. Oh my gosh, she has a fun game. All right, I'm excited. Okay, so I'm gonna put her back in here. So there's always a chance I could end up getting her game again. And let's see when her most recent game was, if I can continue to speak. I think it's Kirsten. I think I said Kristen. I don't know. Kirsten? Sorry, I'm sure I said that wrong. I'm sorry. Okay, so now I am filming my game on May 25th, and her last video was 22 hours ago, which was a cozy mystery reading vlog. So with reading Agatha Christie books, that was 22 hours ago. So let's see, her last TBR game, which she does every month, was for May. So I will watch that video. I'm going to watch the video, I'm going to write the prompts down, and then I will pick the colors once I know how many prompts there are. So I'll be back in just a moment with some more information. Okay, so I have watched Kirsten's video, and she ended up with 7 prompts for, and this is her May roll of reads or TBR, whatever it is that she calls it, I can't remember, but this is for her May TBR game. So let's go ahead and draw the 7 colors. Just getting my phone out of the way, but I'll need it. So let's go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so as you can see, I did not look, and now I will look. Okay, so I've got a good range of colors here, so I'm going to see if these colors will go with any of the books. Now, we'll do that as I show the books to you. So the first prompt that she got was a recent purchase, which there's a lot of recent purchases that I've had this month in May that I really, really want to get to. So I'm going to go with The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. Marigold Claude has always preferred the company of meadow spirits to the suitors who've tried to woo her. So when her grandmother whisks her away to the tiny isle of Innisfree with an offer to train her as the next Honey Witch, she accepts immediately. But her newfound magic and independence come with a price. No one can fall in love with the Honey Witch. Then Lottie Burke, a notoriously grumpy skeptic, shows up on her doorstep, and Marigold can't resist the challenge to prove to her that magic is real, even at the risk of losing her home and her heart. So I do these TBR prompts just a little bit differently, as you will see, or the ones from the YouTuber TBRs. So I watch, I get the prompts, and then I pick the books, and then I draw however many colors there are, and then I see if these colors will match the books. So for the Honey Witch, let's see if any of these colors match. I'm just going to go with this red right off. There is a red, but it's quite a bit darker, so I'm going to say no. What about this orange? I do not see any orange on this cover, so no. Okay, so this kind of tan, pinky. There are some, no, that's quite a bit different. There's several different colors of flowers. Well, let's see, does this one, okay, yes, I'm going to say yes. So up in the corner here, there is a flower, and I'm going to say that that matches that pretty well. So this color 7590, I say, is on this cover, and so yay. Now, if I can't get all of these colors, which I can tell you right now, probably not. If I can't get all of these on with these books, then it turns into a punishment where I have to pick a book that has that color. So prompt number 2 is a new to me author. I am going to go with, and this was one that I had a viewer ask about this book, and it sounds good, so I want to get to this one, and that is Taming Seraphine by Gigi Styx. Underneath Leroy, it says, I rescued a girl from a basement thinking she was innocent, but I brought home a serial killer whose darkness borders on insanity. Now I need to tame her murderous instincts before I become her next victim. Seraphine is reckless, unstable, and likely to get us both destroyed. Every instinct says I should end her, but she's too captivating to resist. Each day she draws me deeper into her web, her allure stripping my self-control, but I'm harboring secrets treacherous enough to add me to her list of men to slaughter. And then underneath Seraphine's point of view, it says, Leroy is dark, deadly, and dangerously attractive. I don't know what he wants, but resisting him is impossible, and I'm ready to slay him at the first sign of betrayal. When a dark figure from the past rises from the shadows, wanting to reclaim me, I'm forced to trust a man who might stab me in the back. So, let's see. Do any of these colors... There's the red roses, but they're much darker than this, so no. There is no orange on the cover. There is no yellow, which this is mimosa. There is no yellow. No to the blue. No to the dark blue. Yeah, there's no to that. And no to that. So already I have a punishment. One of these colors is going to be adding an extra book, but we'll see which one it will be. It depends on the other books for this stack. Prompt number 3 that Kirsten got was an anticipated read. I am thoroughly loving this series. This is The House Witch number 3 by Delemhach. So I'm going to go ahead and read the synopsis. If you don't want to know what this book is about, because you haven't read the first ones, things will spoil the first 2 books, then just wait until I've put this book down. So I am going to read the synopsis for those of you who are ready for this one. But having somehow convinced Lady Annika Janur to marry him, all Finley Ashowan wants to do is settle down, cook some good meals, and enjoy a quiet life in Daxaria. But fate has different plans. Finn's father, Aiden Helmer, Fire Witch and servant of King Matthias of Travach, has arrived in the kingdom with devastating news. Annika's brother Charles has been taken prisoner, and the only way his life will be spared is if Annika or Finn goes to plead his case. Given that an attack from Travach is imminent, there's no way some trickery isn't involved in this plot. Now it's up to Finn, with the help of his family, friends, and wily kitten familiar Kraken, to attempt a daring mission of rescue and espionage. But he'll need to move quickly, because if he can't find a way to fend off his father and keep Daxaria safe, all his dreams might go up in flames. So, and this is like the final book in the House Witch series. There is another book which I did actually receive, but it takes place like 20 years later. So it's, yeah, like an epilogue of the series type of a situation. So that is my anticipated read. I'm so excited. Let's see if any of these colors are on here. There are some greens, but they are more minty than this and darker, so no. Okay, this is on here. So this is kind of a navy blue. Just in the coloring, it's like up here in the shading of the night sky. So, yay. We're going with that combo. So, and this is number 5405. Okay, now this one I don't have a book picked for yet because the prompt that Kirsten got was random number generator. So I have counted how many books I have recently have hauled in May. I have pulled off of the shelf or out of that number ones that are like the 6th in a series or something like that when I haven't even gotten to it yet. So that leaves me 25 books. So let's go ahead, spin, and see what won. $17. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Am I right on this one, or is this one that I missed? Let me double check and make sure this one's the first in a series, because I'm second guessing that. So, but this is what number 17 landed on. But I'm going to make sure. Yes, okay. So the series is the Chicago Billionaires series, and this is number 1 in that series. So Dirty Little Secret by Alexis Winter will be this selection for random generator. Okay, so Dirty Little Secrets, the synopsis says, I'm the type of man that gets what I want. Hell, I didn't become a billionaire before 45 by playing by the rules. But then she waltzed into my life. Ren Adler, my head of PR and the star of every one of my dirty fantasies. She's driven, fiery, and more than 10 years younger than me. In other words, she's off effing limits. But when a psycho stalker starts to terrorize her and her narcissistic ex keeps making mysterious appearances in her life, the only way I could make sure she stays safe was to have her move in with me. Now I'm not just tortured at work, but every night as she permeates every inch of my life. I've been a saint for 3 years. I've kept my hands off her curvaceous body and my filthy thoughts to myself, until last night, when she asked if I had any dirty little secrets, and my resolve finally snapped. I should have walked away. I shouldn't have tasted her. I shouldn't have let my hands roam. And I sure as hell shouldn't have told her to grab the headboard. Instead, I finally let myself indulge in the ultimate fantasy of pretending she's mine. Now she thinks that she's my dirty little secret. But the truth is, I'm not only lying to her, I'm lying to myself. I have to decide to take a chance on finally getting what I want or walking away forever. Okay, let's see if any of these remaining colors are on here. No, that's more of an orange on there. Now, speaking of orange, I think the orange on here is more red. This is to this. There's no yellow on the cover. Do I want to say, oh, that shirt is white. He's got a white shirt. Does that work in the background? I'm going to say no. Two different, and there is no green on the cover. So I do need to get another, so I'll have another punishment book to match the color. The next prompt that Kirsten got was to read a mystery, and I'm going with a cozy mystery. I'm really wanting to get to this, and that is The Rocky Road to Ruin. This is the first in a new series called An Ice Cream Shop Mystery, written by Meri Allen. Riley Rhodes, travel food blogger and librarian at the CIA, makes a bittersweet return to her childhood home of Penman, Connecticut, land of dairy farms and covered bridges, for a funeral. Despite the circumstances, Riley's trip home is sprinkled with reunions with old friends, visits to her father's cozy bookshop on the town green, and joyful hours behind the counter at the beloved, utterly delicious ice cream shop. It feels like a time to help her friend Carolyn rebuild after her mother's death, and for Riley to do a bit of her own reflecting after a botched undercover mission in Italy. After all, it's always good to be home. But Caroline and her brother Mike have to decide what to do with the assets they've inherited, the ice cream shop as well as the farm they grew up on, and they've never seen eye to eye. Trouble begins to swirl as Riley is spooked by reports of a stranger camping behind the farm and by the odd behavior of the shop's mascot, Carolyn's snooty Persian Sprinkles. When Mike turns up dead in the barn the morning after the funeral, the peace and quiet of Penman seems upended for good. Can Riley find the killer before another body gets scooped? Okay. Colors. There is like... These colors are more pastel on here. Like there's pinks. So no. Definitely no on the orange. No, that's definitely no. This one, I'm going to say yes. Okay. So the color I'm going to go with is number 656, and it's in, I'm going to say these ice cream jugs of ice cream have this color. So yay, I got a color to match. Prompt number 6 that Kirsten got is a book that was under 500 pages. This was easy peasy. I got this whole series from this author and I want to pick it up, and it is actually less than 200 pages. It's 183 pages it looks like, so maybe 182. No, oh, those are snippets from the series after this one. So it's actually 181 pages. So I'm going to go with this one, Casey's Secret. I've heard it's pronounced, I've heard the spelling pronounced Cassie and Casey. I'm going with Casey right now, but this is written by Ophelia Bell, and this is part of the Rebel Lest Taboo series. So, Max has been Casey's hero for years, ever since marrying Casey's mother. His only flaw is how rigid he is about the rules as long as Casey still lives at home. After missing curfew one night, he won't let her off lightly. She must choose between being grounded for the summer or enduring a single spanking that will free her to enjoy her vacation. Casey makes her choice, but neither she nor Max are prepared for the domino effect a few smacks to her backside will have, or the dark secrets that will be revealed as a result. Max's past comes back to haunt him in a big way. Casey is a handful, but his old life as part of a two-man team of Doms provides the perfect skills to handle the curious, headstrong young woman with a taste for the taboo, and he and his best friend Rick are the perfect men to give Casey guidance, help her safely explore her dark cravings. But when Max betrays her and Rick refuses to touch her without Max's permission, Casey despairs that she'll ever have them both again. Casey's education into her new taboo lifestyle isn't over yet, but her two favorite doms might need a little educating of their own. Okay, so I can tell you right now, I mean, this is just like shades of gray and red. So the green, no. Yellow, no. Orange, no. No. Now this red, I am going to say yes. There are several different shades of red, and I'm going specifically with some of the shading here in the corner, but it looks darker on the camera, and this looks more bright and neon on camera, but to the naked eye, there is something here in the corner specifically that looks like it's pretty spot on, but it's surrounded by a lot of black, so it is hard to tell, but to the naked eye, it does look like that matches, so I am taking it. And that is color number 199. The last prompt that Kirsten got was anything, and this is to read whatever you want. Now I am going with this. This is Anthony and Catherine by Willow Winters. That is not the title. This is the discreet version of Willow Winters books. I'm working on collecting the discreet versions. This is book number 5 in the Litte Crime Family series, which is a mafia romance. I want to get back to this and finish this series, so I'm picking this one. Now, the discreet cover does not give you the title nor the synopsis. It's just like it is. So I will insert an image of the title, or of the cover, excuse me, and this title is Bad Boy. This one reads, I'm a dangerous man. You may be fooled by my good looks and charm, but my eyes give it away. I'm the hitman for the Valetti Familia, and I'm damn good at what I do. They want men to talk, and I make them talk. They want men gone, bang, it's done. It's as simple as that. Until her. She's on my list, but I want her. On her knees and submitting to my every command. I'll give her a simple choice. Die or be mine. I've always wanted this. Now that I have the chance, I'm taking it. I can fulfill those fantasies I know she has. I'm going to make her beg for it. So I'm going to go with this one, and for these, it has to be on the cover that I own, and as you can see, these aren't on here. So that's another book added. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my books, and I'm going to go find some books that have these colors on there. And hopefully I can get these colors to match some book that I own. So I'll be back once I find these. Okay, so for one of the colors that I couldn't find for any of the prompts from Kirsten's game was this yellow, which is Mimosa, number 14-0848. I did find a recent purchase that I think qualifies for this one. There's a yellow cat right back here in the back that I think pretty well matches that color. So I'm going to go with A Story of Seven Lives by Shirakawa Jin. Nanao used to be a house cat, but after tragedy struck, he was abandoned on the rough streets of Tokyo. Now, alongside his best friend and fellow stray Machi, Nanao has to fight every day just to get by. Aside from foraging for food and finding a safe place to sleep, Nanao and Machi must remain vigilant about all sorts of dangers, including humans, who want the stray cats gone. When a woman named Yoshino starts feeding the neighborhood cats, Nanao reluctantly bonds with her, but the woman has emotional scars and a past entwined with Nanao's. Can Nanao help her heal and perhaps heal himself in the process? Okay, the next color, number 383, is this green. I'm going to go with Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. There's some various shadings in the leaves around here, so I'm saying it's a match. So that's what I'm going to go with, is Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. It says, Oryx and Crake, the first book of the Mad Adam trilogy, is at once an unforgettable love story and a compelling vision of the future. Snowman, known as Jimmy before mankind was overwhelmed by a plague, is struggling to survive in a world where he may be the last human and mourning the loss of his best friend, Crake, and the beautiful and elusive Oryx, whom they both loved. In search of answers, Snowman embarks on a journey, with the help of the green-eyed children of Crake, through the lush wilderness that was so recently a great city, until powerful corporations took mankind on an uncontrolled genetic engineering ride. Margaret Atwood projects us into a near future that is both all too familiar and beyond our imagining. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Okay, and the third color that I couldn't get to match any of the books that I selected for Kirsten's prompts for her May game is this kind of orangey color, number 166. I'm going with a book on a previous, which was the same thing with Oryx and Crake, but on a previous TBR, I'm going to go with Hijab Butch Blues. This is a memoir, and as you can see, it's like kind of blending in to my eye there. So that's what I'm going to go with, is Hijab Butch Blues. And again, this is a memoir. So it says it's a daring, provocative, and radically hopeful coming-of-age memoir by a queer hijabi Muslim immigrant who, by interpreting stories from the Quran, finds the strength, purpose, and self-acceptance to finally build the life she wants. Okay, so let's try that again. Well, for prompt number 1. Okay, so a 4 and a 2. So 6 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Flag Day. And the prompt to go along with Flag Day, or the color prompt, is this yellow. This is number 605. So this color needs to be somewhere on the cover. Okay, so now we are into my official prompts for my Cat-Walk TBR board game. So the first official prompt that we got was Flag Day. So this is to read a book that is set in one of the countries that I have ancestry from. And the color that I drew is number 605. And for both, I am going with Kilt Trip by Alexandra Kiley. This is set in Scotland. I have ancestry in Scotland. As far as this color goes, her jacket's pretty dark, but you can't really see it, but there are highlights in her hair. I don't know how well you're going to see it, but there are highlights in her hair that are like pretty spot on to this, so I'm going with it. So it says, Ready or Scott, Globetrotter Addie McRae always follows her wanderlust, and as a travel consultant, she jets around the world, anywhere but Scotland. But when she's sent on assignment to help a struggling family run tour company in the Highlands and save her own job, Addie packs away her emotional baggage and turns on the professional charm. Logan Sutherland's as rugged as the land he loves, and his greatest joy is sharing the beauty of Scotland's hidden gems, even if it means a wee bit of red ink on the company's bottom line. The last thing Logan wants is some American expert pushing tourist traps and perpetuating myths about the Loch Ness Monster, especially when Addie never leaves her desk to experience the country for herself. As they wage an office war, Logan discovers Addie's secret connection to Scotland, a handful of faded Polaroids of her late mother. Hoping for a truce, he creates a private tour to the places in the pictures to help Addie find closure and appreciate the enchantment in less traveled destinations, never expecting the off-limits attraction sparking between them. But Addie's contract is almost up, and magic won't pay the bills. They can't afford distractions, but how can Addie do her job if she hasn't explored all Scotland and Logan has to offer? So, okay, so official prompt number 2. All right, we got a double. Got 2 3s, so instead of 5 official prompts from my board, we're now going for 6. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mom. Okay, and the color to go with the prompt of mom, for my mom. Oh, that's kind of pretty. So this is like a salmon pink, number 493. Prompt number 2, as you can see, was Mom. This is to read a book that has a woman or someone resembling a woman on the cover. And the color that I drew is number 493. I'm going with a middle grade, and it still appears to be a woman, a young woman, very young woman, but still good, different. And this is written by Meg Eden Quate. The color is in her shirt. The camera looks like it's a bit, there is a difference between the color, but of her shirt, these pink stripes, but to the naked eye and without the light reflecting on it, it looks pretty dang spot on. So I'm going with it. And let's see, it says, and she always, oh, okay, Sheila knows her rules for being normal, and she always sticks to them. Again, and this is the selection for June for Autism Reads. We're going with a middle grade on this one. The link to Autism Reads is the read-along that I host, where we read a book every month by an author that is confirmed to be autistic. June is a middle grade. Okay, so she always sticks to these rules. Okay, this means keeping her feelings locked tightly inside, despite the way they build up inside her as each school day goes on, so that she has to tear off her normal person mask the second she gets home from school and listen to her favorite pop song on repeat, trying to recharge. Sheila feels, I know I'm saying her name wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. Sheila feels like a dragon stuck in a world of humans, but she knows how to hide it, until the day she explodes and hits a fellow student. After the incident, Sheila's friends pull away from her, her school threatens expulsion, and her comfortable, familiar world starts to crumble. But as Sheila begins to figure out more about who she is, she comes to understand that different doesn't mean damaged. Maybe different can even be good. Can she get her school to understand that before it's too late? This is told in verse. It says this is a moving and unputdownable novel in verse about a neurodivergent girl who wants to spread her wings and soar. So, and yes, it is definitely told in verse. All right, time for a punishment poll. So, as you saw, I ended up with a double for this one. So, I've got my TBR cards. Let's give these a bit of a shuffle. Okay, and I'm going to go with this one. Okay, choose a book without a dust jacket. Okay. Do I want to say that that could be a paperback? Or do I want to say it has to be a hardback without a paperback, because the paperbacks don't come with the dust jacket. The hardbacks come with the dust jacket. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing. So let's see. Now I do need a color. I do have a couple of hardbacks in my room that do not have dust jackets. So, but I do need a color first. Okay, we're just gonna go with this top one. Number 600, so this is a yellow. Okay, so a book without a dust jacket and this yellow. All right, let me see what I can do. Hopefully I can make it work without having to split this up, but I think I am going to go with it has to be a hardback book that does not contain a dust jacket. So, because paperback would just be too easy. So to challenge myself, it has to be a hardback that does not have a dust jacket. Okay. All right, so I found a book without a dust jacket. So again, the TBR prompt card for the punishment for the double was to choose a book without a dust jacket. The color that I drew is this color 600. Unfortunately, I was able to fulfill this, but I had to split these. So The one for Without a Dust Jacket, I am going with Caution Tape by Molly Doyle and J.D. Midnight. It says, I'm a caged monster lost in all of time and space who has finally gotten the strength to break free, is what it says on the back. This is a special edition cover from Read in Peace book box. So I do need to pull the synopsis up because there is no synopsis on the inside. There is no synopsis on the back. Let me just double check. There's nothing on the inside. Yep, it just starts with chapter 1 from Nolan's perspective. So, okay. Now, I have it pulled up on Goodreads, so I'll read the synopsis. It says, it's underneath Cora. It says, it's exhausting pretending to be normal. Go to therapy, hold down a job, smile. So much smiling. All I can do is attempt to corral the burning rage that sits in my chest. It's getting hard. My mask is slipping. I'm slowly losing my grip. Reality is getting blurry. I'm yearning to lash out, to taste blood, for someone to see me for what I truly am. Underneath Nolan, it says, I've kept myself in check, built the perfect lie, a well-adjusted man with his entire life ahead of him. Allowed myself only daytime fantasies and night drives. It's not enough. I'm too hungry. Then there's her. Chipping away at my lie, piece by piece, I see her. She has a darkness in her eyes that matches mine. I want her. I want her wrapped in plastic, squirming and begging me for mercy. My trophy, my toy, mine. And so it begins. One game, two mutual monsters. So, it does say you need to look up content or trigger warnings because it's full of trigger warnings and very dark. So, but yeah, this is what I'm going with for Without a Dust Jacket because there is no dust jacket on this. So, yeah, there's no dust jacket. So, this works for the punishment prompt. As far as the color goes, I'm going to go with Can't Spell Treason without T. There's like lighting here on the floor. They've got a fire here that it looks like it pretty much, like in some of the fire shades, it matches. So that's what I'm going with. Can't Spell Treason without T. It says, all Rainia and Kianthi want is to open a bookshop that serves tea with firelight while firelight drifts between the rafters. But Rainia works as one of the Queen's private guards, and Kianthi is the most powerful mage in existence. Leaving their lives isn't so easy. But after an assassin takes Rainia hostage, she decides she's thoroughly done risking her life for a self-centered queen. Meanwhile, Kianthi has been waiting for a chance to flee responsibility, all the better that her girlfriend is on board. Together they settle in Tawny, a town nestled in the icy tundra near Dragon Country, and open the shop of their dreams. What follows is a cozy tale of mishaps, mysteries, and a murderous queen throwing the realm's biggest temper tantrum, while these two women discover just what they mean to each other and the world. I've heard this is a cozy fantasy, and this does have LGBT rep in it. Specifically Sapphic, I think, is the main. I don't know if there's going to be any more or just that, but I'm excited for this. It sounds really sweet. All right, so prompt number 3 from my TBR board prompts. 6. I'm moving 6 quite a bit today, but a 4 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sunburn. And the color to go with Sunburn. Oh, this is like a chocolatey brown. Number 732. All right, prompt number 4 I got was Sunburn, and this is to read a hot book. This could be hot as far as it takes place in summer when it's hot. Could be something that's hot on the cover, like in this case, there's fire on the cover. That would work. It's a hot book. Hot as far as the topic is something that could make me steaming under the collar and make me mad. Could be a romance with some spice in it. And I think this covers that. I do believe there's spice. I don't know how spicy it is, but it did come in a book box. I got this in Once Upon a Book Club, and it came with an adult toy in it. So because of that, I'm assuming this is going to be a spicy book. So, but if it does not have any spicy or smutty scenes, there is fire on the cover. He is holding a torchlight. So there is fire on the cover, and it takes place somewhere that I think could be like hot. So, and the color that I drew is this 732, and it looks like that's in the whip that he is carrying, or the rope. Whip or rope, I don't know what it is. Rope maybe, but it's there. So I'm counting the color and the prompt as one in this, so yay. All right. Archaeologist Dr. Socorro Corey Mija has a bone to pick, literally. It's been Corey's life goal to lead an expedition deep into the Mexican jungle in search of the long-lost remains of her ancestor Chamali, an ancient warrior of the Aztec Empire. At some point, I'm just going to have to get a new camera because this camera is not holding a charge like it's supposed to or used to. Anyway, okay, continuing on. So I think of a jungle hot, could be humid, which can make the heat worse. And then if there's spice, of course, there is that fire there on the cover. So anyway, okay, so let's see. Long lost remains of ancestor, ancient warrior, Aztec of Empire. Here we go. When she is invited to join an all-expenses-paid dig to do just that, Corey is sure it's too good to be true, and she's right. As the world-renowned expert on Chamali, Corey should, by rights, be leading this quest, not sharing the glory with her disgustingly handsome nemesis. But Dr. Ford Matthews has been finding new ways to best her since they were in grad school. Ford certainly isn't thrilled either. With his life in shambles, the last thing he needs is a reminder of their rocky past. But as the dig begins, it becomes clear they'll need to work together. A thief is lurking around their campsite, forcing the pair to keep their discoveries and a lingering attraction under wraps. With money-hungry artifact smugglers, the Mexican authorities, and the lies between them closing in, there's only one way this all ends: explosively. All right, prompt number 4. Another double. Okay, so we're moving 8 spots. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Independence Day. And the color to go with Independence Day. Caramel. I know some people say it caramel. I say caramel. So there you go, which is number 161439. Prompt number 5 I got was Independence Day, and this is because July is the day that we celebrate that the United States obtained their freedom from the UK during that battle or war there. So this is to read a book that is set in America. And the color that I chose, that I drew, was caramel, and this is number 161439. I am going with Bait and Witch by Angela Sanders. The color, there's several, like in the fireplace there, in the wood and the shading there, so I'm saying that that counts with the color. And this takes place in Oregon, or at least Oregon is mentioned on the back. Let's see. Josie Way loved working among the Library of Congress's leather-scented stacks until she uncovered corruption and made herself a target. As Wilfred, Oregon's new librarian, Josie can stay undercover until she goes to court. But life in this little town isn't as subdued as she expected. The library, housed in a Victorian mansion, is slated to be bulldozed. Still digesting the news that her safe haven is about to become scrap lumber, Josie discovers a body in the woods. Almost as shocking, Josie learns that she's descended from a long line of witches, and her powers have suddenly sprung to life. With help from a spoiled alley cat who just may be her familiar, Josie's thumbing through a catalog of suspects, hoping she can conjure a way to save her library and her life. So it sounds like it takes place in Oregon, which is a state in the United States. So I already have a lot of books on my June TBR, and it's just going to get longer. So, time for another punishment because I got another double. So, right, yes. Another double. All right, the TBR punishment card, this one. Choose a book that ends with the words, "and she lived happily ever after." What the heck? You know what? I'm going to veto this prompt. And I think I'll discard this card. I'll recycle it because I'm not going to go and look at every single book I own. That's going, I mean, this is going to be way too hard to fulfill. And I'm not going to go through every single unread book that I own to find this is the last sentence that this ends on. This is just way too difficult, so I'm vetoing that. So let's go with a different card. And I'm just going to discard it so it doesn't pop up again in the future. Okay. Let's go this one. Whoop. Read your prettiest special edition. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I know what one I want for this. Oh, but will it have the color that I draw? I may end up having to split this into 2 books. So, okay, prettiest special edition. I'm going to grab it right now. Okay, so the prettiest special edition that I have, or at least one of them, I want to go with this one. So no matter what the color is, this is my pick for the TBR card. This is book number 1 in the Paladin series, Whistleblower by Kay Cove. I love this cover. So let me find the synopsis. This is another this is from probably Smut Book Club, and this is another case where they have nothing. The synopsis, there's just a quote on the back. There's no synopsis. So I've got it pulled up on Goodreads here. Underneath Eden it says, "Where I come from, there's no forgiveness for a whistleblower, even if I saved countless lives. Unemployed and wrecked with reputation. My only option is a pity job as a leadership consultant for a secret government-employed team of assassins. After moving clear across the country, I thought I'd feel safe from the ones who want revenge for my so-called valor, but then I meet him, Link, the ghost in the shadows, who will never be seen for the hero he is. I should probably be intimidated by the most lethal assassin Paladin employs, except the monster has the kindest eyes when he's looking at me. Still, the question remains of who I should fear more, the ones who are after me, or the ones who promised to protect me." And then underneath Link it says, "I love the way she screams my name, but I like how she whispers it too. I vowed to never get attached, but Eden has a hold on me that no one has before. She's the light, and until her, I didn't realize how lonely the darkness is. Forget Paladin's rules. I refuse to let her go. I've only found what she's I've only found what's precious to me, and now I have to keep her close. Defend her fiercely. She's mine. She's mine to pleasure and protect. And whoever keeps threatening Eden's life is going to lose theirs." So, no matter what color comes up that I'm going to be drawing, this is the one I want for my prettiest special edition. I love this cover. So let's stick the TBR card in there. And now, let's draw a color card and hope it's on there. If not, it's just another book. Again, there's no punishment for never finishing my TBR, so it's okay. If I end up with 50 or 100 books, it's still less than my massive unread pile of books. I had a card that flew. I guess I'll go stick that back in. Okay. Okay, this is one. I don't know. I don't think this is on here. Let's see. No. Oh, shoot. Okay, no, this green is not on here. So, yeah. Okay, so prettiest cover. Now let's find a book that has this green. The color that you saw me draw is Bottle Green, number 17572. So the book, I'm going to go with this one. That's Not My Name by Megan Lally. So, yeah, it looks like it's just in the shading of the green back there. So, this is the one I'm going with for that. It says, shivering and bruised, a teen wakes up on the side of a dirt road with no memory of how she got there or who she is. The police don't know where she came from until a frantic man arrives at the station. He's been searching for her for hours. He has her school ID, her birth certificate, and even family photos. He is her father. His name is Meri, or so he says. When Lola slammed the car door and stormed off into the night, Drew thought they just needed some time to cool off, except Lola disappeared. Now his friends, the sheriff, and the whole town are convinced Drew murdered his girlfriend. Forget proving his innocence, he needs to find her. The longer Lola is missing, the fewer leads there are to follow, and the more danger they both are in. Okay, prompt number 5, but is not the final roll for the prompts from my board because of those 2 doubles. 5. I almost said 6, but it's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go swimming. All right, and the color to go with go swimming. 414, so this is a gray. All right, the next prompt I landed on was go swimming, and this was to read a book with water on the cover. The color I drew is number 414. This is not on the book that I picked, which is Murder at the Beacon Bookshop. So this is written by Darci Hannah. This is first in the Beacon Bakeshop mystery. Did I say bookshop? It's Bakeshop. I don't know. Anyway. More interested in kneading dough than adding it up, Lindsay's breakup inspired her to set up the shop she always wanted in a place that always made her happy. She'd spent many childhood summers near this beach community and converting the old rundown lighthouse into a bakery, cafe, and home offers a perfect fresh start for Lindsay and her devoted Newfoundland dog Wellington. But not everyone in town has a sweet tooth. The Preservation Society won't have the lighthouse's history sugar-coated by lattes and cakes, and a protest group crashes Lindsay's Memorial Day opening. Then her ex-fiancé Jeffrey Plank and his girlfriend Mia Long arrive to trash the place. In the ensuing chaos, Mia chokes on a donut and dies. An autopsy reveals cyanide in Mia's bloodstream, and Lindsay is the police's prime suspect. To clear her name, she's going to need to combine ingredients found in the town's checkered past to uncover the identity of a desperate killer. And as you can see, it's on the bay, there's water there. So the book I'm going to go with for the color is Her Soul to Take by Harley LaRue. So yeah, that color is definitely on the shading of the skull there. So this is what I'm going with. 2 POVs underneath Leon, it says, my reputation among magicians is unblemished. Killer, they call me. Killing is what I'm best at. One wrong move and you're dead. Except her. The one I was supposed to take. The one I should have killed. The cult that once controlled me wants her. But I'm not about to lose my new toy to them. And then underneath Ray, it says, I've always believed in the supernatural. Hunting for ghosts is my passion, but summoning a demon was never part of the plan. Monsters are roaming the woods, and something ancient, something evil is waking up and calling my name. I don't know who I can trust or how deep this darkness goes. All I know is my one shot at survival is the demon stalking me, and he doesn't just want my body, he wants my soul. All right, now we're into the double territory, so number 6. Okay, we're moving 7 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Juneteenth. And the color to go with Juneteenth, let's go with this one. This is green. 7726. All right, this next prompt I landed on was Juneteenth. This is the day that slavery was abolished, and so the focus of this prompt is to read a book by a Black author. I'm going to go with another. A lot of these books I received in May I really want to get to, and that's no exception for this, which is One of Us Knows by Alyssa Cole. This is a thriller, and there's a picture of her, so that's what I'm going with. She is a Black author. So Years after a breakdown and a diagnosis of dissociative identity disorder derailed her historical preservationist career, Kenitra Nash and her alters have been given a second chance they can't refuse, a position as resident caretaker of a historic home. Having been dormant for years, Ken has no idea what led them to this isolated Hudson River island, but she's determined not to ruin their opportunity. Then, a surprise visit from the home's conservation trust this sentence always gets me. Let me try it again. Then a surprise visit from the home's conservation trust just as a nor'easter bears down on the island disrupts her newfound life, leaving Ken trapped with a group of possibly dangerous strangers, including the man who brought her life tumbling down years earlier. When he turns up dead, Ken is the prime suspect. Caught in a web of secrets and in a race against time, Ken and her alters must band together to prove their innocence and discover the truth of Kavanaugh Island and their own past, or they risk losing not only their future, but their life. The color I drew to go with Juneteenth was this green color, number 7726. Well, as you can see, there is no green on there. So I'm going to go with this one. This was a book club for another book club for months ago. And I'm going to go with this one. It's in her pants there. So this is what I'm going to go with. And this one is Show Us Who You Are by L. McNoll. My family never talks about me being autistic. I don't know why. I don't see anything wrong with it. It's like they all forgot until Pomegranate. My brother's company, Pomegranate Institute, creates incredible lifelike holograms that allow people to talk to actors, musicians, and even family long after they've died. And they want to make a gram of me because I am autistic, because I see things other people miss. And there's a lot that neurotypicals can learn from my brain. My best friend, Adrian, doesn't think it's such a good idea, but Adrian isn't here right now, and I know what it's like to lose someone. I don't ever want to have to say goodbye again. So that sounds like a sweet book, and I look forward to that one. Okay, and will this be the final roll from my board? Yes, maybe. Going 5 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pioneer Day. Yes, this is the last roll. All right, and the color to go with Pioneer Day is this very dark green, 350. This last prompt is Pioneer Day. Pioneer Day is a day here in Utah that is celebrated for the Mormon pioneers or ancestors for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, for them to trek from like Palmyra to New York all the way here to Salt Lake City, Utah, because they were persecuted, tarred and feathered, belongings destroyed, all because of religiously what they believed. So they trekked across the country, so covered wagon, on horseback, walking, things like that. So Pioneer Day, I'm using this one as a mode of transportation on the cover. Basically, you're getting from point A to point B. How are you going? If I can see feet on the cover, I'm taking that because you walk. So that is a form of transportation. Even shoes, you're using your shoes to walk. So with this one, I'm going to go with a prequel for a book that I just read in May. I'm going to go with Jurassic Jackaroo, which is Jasper's Junction. There is a horse. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see the silhouette, but there's someone riding a horse there, and people ride horses. So that is a mode of transportation. So, and if we had dinosaurs nowadays, do you think that something like this, whatever dinosaur this is, that people would probably try to tame enough to ride? It would not surprise me if people did that and tried to use the dinosaur as a mode of transportation. So anyway, either way, mode of transportation. How does the greatest gunslinger of the Old West end his career? By hunting a dinosaur animal spirit, of course. Carl Redgrave has big plans for his retirement party. He's bringing together the world's greatest criminals, murderers, warriors, and assassins to hunt something worthy of them all. a highly intelligent 7-foot-tall dinosaur spirit, known to the natives as the Grishla. Of course, Carl wants only the best on his safari, so he has pitted these men against each other in a deadly contest in an old ghost town, with 5 winners securing a place in the unit. Who will live? Who will win? And if they win, can they survive the final confrontation with the beast? And then there's 2 more people riding horses on the back. So this is by Roma Gray. And this is a horror, and I think it's more young adult. What does that say? Trick or treat? Oh, trick or treat thrillers. But yeah, this is the first book, number 1, I got from the library book sale from my local library for like 25 cents, and I really enjoyed it. And so then I bought the second book, and when I bought the second book, I saw there was a prequel, so I got the prequel. Now I want to read the prequel. So anyway, mode of transport on the cover. And the color I drew from that is this green, number 350. No. Blacks, grays, reds, and yellows are pretty much it. I don't see any green. So I'm going to go with Murder by the Book. First in a Beyond the Page bookstore mystery by Lauren Elliott. This is a cozy mystery. On the window here next to the door, there's some images of some turtles, and these look pretty spot on with this color for the colors on the turtles. There's also some shrubbery around here. I'm sure it matches somewhere in the shading of the shrubbery. There's also there's like green books, things like that, but the picture with the turtles looks spot on. So that's what I'm going with. And it says, Addie left some painful memories, let me start over. Addie left some painful memories behind in the big city, including the unsolved murder of her fiancé and her father's fatal car accident. After an unexpected inheritance from a great aunt, she moves to a small New England town founded by her ancestors back in colonial times, and living in spacious Greybourne Manor on the hilltop overlooking the harbor. Best of all, her aunt also left her countless first editions and other treasures, providing an inventory to start her own store. But there's trouble from day one, and not just from the grumpy woman who runs the bakery next door. A car nearly runs Addie down. Someone steals a copy of Alice in Wonderland. Then Addie's friend Serena, who owns a nearby tea shop, is arrested for killing another local merchant. The police seem pretty sure they've got the story in hand, but Addie's not going to let them close the book on this case without a fight. So, those are the books. That's a lot of books. I don't expect to get to all these. Again, there's never any punishment for not finishing my TBR. Life just happens, and this is a way for me to go from a massive, like I have over 1,000 unread books, and it can be very overwhelming to try to pick a book to read. So this helps me go from over 1,000 books. So in this case, it's less than 50. How many books are on this TBR? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 books. So I don't expect to get to all of these. I highly doubt that, because I also tried to get some ebooks in. So what I try to do is I read a physical book and then I read an ebook. Unless I find a prompt that specifically states ebook, I don't put ebooks on my TBR. I just I go off of like year-long readathons. So for example, Kayla from Books and Lala, her buzzwordathon. If none of these books that I can see fits whatever the prompt is for June, then I'll look on my Kindle and find a book that will fulfill that prompt. So, and there's a bunch of other year-long readathons that I'm trying to participate in. And so I'll just find one of those prompts to help me pick an ebook. And so I try to alternate again between physical and ebook. So those are the books, and I am looking forward to all of these. So who knows which ones I'll get to. And maybe there'll be a readathon that there's a book that would fit perfectly for, because there are a couple of readathons I would like to participate in June. I want to do the Amazing Readathon. So I could read, example, I'll use these prompts to help me pick my Kindle books when I'm in between things, or if there's a book that I have on my shelf that's not on my June TBR, but on my bookcase upstairs, that will match one of the Amazing Readathon prompts, I'll use one of that. So I could end up going with all completely different books. Who knows? So I want to participate in the Amazing Readathon. I have joined Team Romance. And what else do we have? Camp Season-a-thon. For that one, I have decided to join the Rainbow Cabin for that one. The Clear Your Shit 4.5 readathon. And there's another one, which if I can, I will. This is definitely one I would use most of my ebooks for. It's an On the Range readathon. And the goal is to just read Western. So Western is one I don't really pick up a lot of, if at all. So I would probably use that, a lot of my ebooks for Western books if I do that one. I'm thinking about it, toying about it. We'll see if I do. Who knows? So those are the books I'm going to read. Let me know, have you read any of these books? Have you read any books by any of these authors? Are you interested in any of these books? Let me know. Talk to me in the comment section below. And until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I will talk to you later.